Right there is an end-of-year candle. Cheers.
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 Cheers. The
To
martini cheers. Please ignore my nails. That was like such a Paige thing to say. No, I was just telling you before this. I haven't drank on the pod all year, I don't think. I think I've maybe once. Because we just have had so much going on after shows this year. We've been doing like back-to-backs or like it's just earlier in the day for me. So that's what ends up happening.
Thank you for making some clarity on that.
Yeah, no. It's mostly because it's too early in the day for me. I have other things to do.
Because I'm not a psychopath.
But I am drinking an extra dirty blue cheese martini right now.
I had an extra dirty martini the other night. Went out for dinner. Delightful. I don't do that enough. In fact,
yeah. And this is a vodka one, and usually I do gin. But I was too lazy to look for our gin, and our vodka was in the freezer. So I was like, you know what? And I got new martini glasses from my
It's very nice. That is a proper martini. If you're not on YouTube, just go.
Thank you. I also chilled the glass beforehand. So
what kind of tequila?
Tequila?
What kind of
vodka?
Vodka. I was
Grey
saying,
Goose.
Oh my God. In my mind, I was saying Tito's. But I'm a Grey Goose fan myself.
No, I have Grey Goose because I just had it in my fridge for like holiday stuff, but usually I'm a gin person. I'm usually a gin martini person, but I went with vodka because it's blue cheese and extra dirty, so can't really taste the vodka.
Well, happy holidays, everybody. Happy New Year's. Happy everything. We were just talking that these like 2 weeks are like not real life. By the time you will be listening to this, I will be spending my New Year's at an indoor water park with probably like 25 kids and however many adults, which will be fun. We did this last year. It was something, but
so dad of you.
It's very dad, but it is fun. And because it's in Wisconsin, there's a stop right at the state border, like literally as you're about to go, that is loaded up with all my favorite Wisconsin beers, which we've talked about on this pod.
Yes.
Spotted Cow is very good. Moon Man is going to be my New Year's beer. So like, and you could see, I don't know if Wisconsin has betting yet or not. I know last year they didn't. Every dad in this group stopped both before the border to get all their bets in for like 3 days, and then afterwards to load up on Wisconsin beer. So that stop will happen tomorrow. We have a show. Maybe you'll hear this in the morning. If so, it'll be at noon Central, and then poof, I am out of here.
That's the part that's even weirder is like normal companies or just some companies close down and you're closed from like before Christmas and then after New Year's you come back. For us, there's like this weird back and forth. There's no like real reprieve. Like you're not off for until the season's over.
No.
So we get like a few days here and there, and I've had to check my schedule every day. I was working a little today, work a little tomorrow. It's very random. So there's not a lot of time to like, there is time to have fun, but it's like has to be very planned fun. It's not as like low key, but that's why I'm drinking a martini because I didn't have work today. I don't have work to do later. So this is really exciting for me that I get to do this.
I had that moment. I got up this morning, and I was like, well, let me just make sure writing wise, I know what I'm doing this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm covering New Year's Day and stuff like that. And I was like, oh shit, locks for these games. You and I have verbally like talked about these games now for so long that I forget like what work I've done. So it was fun. I got to write about these games. I pretty much at this point feel like I've been talking about them forever, and we'll talk about it more today. And I can't wait. I am New Year's Eve is going to be a blast. Iowa plays at 11 a.m. So we will be water parking and drinking and Iowaing. Nebraska with neighbor Jason plays later that day. And the rest of those games, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good slate on New Year's Eve. And then New Year's Day, it's like bangers galore.
It is.
So before we start breaking down games, is there anything in the news? We should talk Michigan, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say Michigan really is the big one.
The big one. Just first thoughts, general thoughts. Well, you could go many places with this.
So one, I just want to say thoughts and prayers to Kyle Whittingham's wife, who was this close to getting him to be retired and done. And I mean, this had been planned at Utah where like his successor was named. he was going to retire. I'm assuming, I actually haven't heard in a while because I think people just had this understanding that he was not going to leave Utah. That, I mean, this is an excellent hire. This is not like, oh, good job, you like saved the like terribleness that was happening and you kind of like stopped the ship from sinking. No, this was like power move. This was like a Michigan move. Like, you are Michigan, one of the premier programs in college football, and you just proved it by getting a guy who is set to retire to come coach. And he's not like he's just going to coach for a year. He's going to be there for a couple years. Now, I don't know how many, but I will say you win one national championship and you ride off into the sunset, and that's that.
I think it actually, the stuff that I've heard out of Utah is really interesting, that they may have been kind of nudging him out, which seems insane.
Really?
But like timeline, it didn't sound like everything was hunky-dory there, which is why he was just like, I'm done.
So
Whatever.
my understanding was that last year was supposed to be the last year.
So
and
he
it
kept
wasn't
kind of moving
because
the
of
goalposts.
because they had everything. And I think he was like, I can't leave on that. And that was the situation. I think that was the situation.
Well, and regardless, I guess, I agree with you. So I thought a couple of things were really interesting. I think obviously Urban Meyer's connection with Utah, I was reading about that today and seeing Urban talk about what he told him, like, take the job. And Urban obviously is Ohio State allegiance. I thought that was fascinating about the respect he had for Michigan. This is a job that you need to take, but your life is never going to be as hard as it is right now, which I think is all true. All right. I think Whittingham, I'm gonna try not to insult anybody, is like the anti-Mario Cristobal. On Saturdays, I trust him with everything. They're not going to win everything, but I trust him with everything. Mario Cristobal, I do not.
Yeah.
As a program builder, however, and what he's going to be asked to do now, Whittingham is going to have to do his best Mario Cristobal impression. Like, he's going to have to adapt to a lifestyle in this program that he's not accustomed to doing. And I think that's going to take a little time.
I don't know that he has to. I think Michigan is in a situation where they have the funds. Okay, so that's what can be handled by somebody that's not him.
Totally.
And his job, he doesn't care if you are the number one recruit in the country or whatever. I don't think he's going to adjust. I don't think he's going to go full
But even
that. He's not going to go full Brian Kelly. He's not going to have the accent. I don't think he's going to adapt to, and I don't think he's going to change who he is. And I think that's why Michigan got him, is because there are very few coaches that can get away with that, essentially. And he's one of them. And I think there's like a respect level there, an age level there. That, like, they're not expecting him to be something he's not. And I think it's actually the perfect fit for what Michigan needs based on what they've had the last two coaches. No offense to Jim Harbaugh, but there was still a lot of like personality there and chaos there a little bit.
For sure. It's been uneasy. And I agree. It makes perfect sense. But I think even that philosophy, and you're totally right, a lot of the challenges is going out and hiring a GM that is great.
Yes.
And then going out and hiring a head of recruiting that is exceptional. But I do think even those muscles of like this type of leadership, because Utah, like Michigan, should have a top 5 or top 8 recruiting class every single year. And so, like, yes, a lot of it now is budget management. But some of it's not going to be. And now, we said the same thing, by the way, about Kalen DeBoer, who's recruited really well. And, in theory, even though there's uneasiness, adopted to that lifestyle of being in Alabama pretty well.
I would say, like, I think, honestly, the more successful coaches in college football, like, I know everyone's like, oh, you got to adapt or die situation, which you do to the new age of college football. But there's still some of it that has to stay true or that's going to get out of hand.
Oh,
and I think the more successful coaches that we are going to see over the next couple of years are the really boring coaches. I know that sounds bad, but like the Matt Campbells, no offense to like Matt Rule, like that's a personality guy. And like, he's a great coach and obviously has some old school stuff, but there's still some new school where you're zip lining across and doing all that. Like you're not going to catch Kyle Whittingham doing that. And that's fine. But I think like that is going to, at certain programs that works. I think Nebraska, you need a little bit of flash there, but no offense, neighbor Jason, but
Tough start already. I mean,
right.
geez.
But I just think it's like kind of like Iowa. Like, no offense, but like your boring
Why?
coach has been very successful for a while. Like, that's sustainable. It's not sustainable if you keep adapting when the
No.
sport's just going to continue to change.
I like him a lot. Again, on game days, he's in. I think Michigan. It's funny that Michigan and Penn State got into these situations very differently, and I think both wound up in really good spots. And I don't know Whittingham. I know he was trying to bring over his OC because there's some intrigue here now. What happens with Bryce Underwood?
Yeah.
And actually, I saw Bryce Underwood's comments. Like, the kid is like wise beyond his years. Like, I'm gonna focus on the bowl game. Really excited. We're going to see what happens. Like, it was like a great response.
Yeah.
I would imagine he's going to stay.
Oh, yeah.
I would imagine he's going to stay.
Well, and also, like, look, he, not to say that it's legally binding, but he did take a big chunk of money to be at Michigan.
Yeah.
And I imagine there's maybe not a clause, but there's maybe some people that would not be great people to piss off. I don't know. And that also, I think, honestly, that stuff affects your draft stock, too. Like, I know, like, if he did that this year and like ruffled feathers that way in terms of like how much he's getting paid and like kind of let them late in the game, obviously the portal doesn't open until the second, but still, I think it makes sense to try that out. I just think it's a good coaching hire. If it was not one that he was comfortable with, then I would say maybe not, but this is not a coach you leave who's coming in, not at all.
Well,
especially when he went to, no offense, but like that, he went to go play for Sharon Moore. Like, you shouldn't leave based on.
He went to go play for Oracle, okay?
Like, exactly. That's what I mean. It's like, but Beck, so why would he leave out the coach? You know what I mean?
Beck is really good too. I mean, again, assuming it's a guy like that, that is, I think it would be a really good fit. So a lot of this really, to me, boils down to that part of it, because contractually, you're right. Who knows what is in there? But if Underwood were to hit the portal, my God, that would be fascinating. I mean, that would make an already fascinating quarterback group level up quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
it's insane how like we keep having these we could obviously don't have to talk about this a lot because we're going to talk about it once the portal actually opens. But like the idea that like we are getting such expensive classes of players going to certain schools is funny, because it was like, oh, when the House vs. NCAA comes across, like there's going to be a cap and like NIL has to be filtered through, this like third party that like checks these things out through Deloitte, like blah, blah. And then it's like, oh no, we're still going to be paying this money. It's just the price is going to go up until someone actually says no.
So 2 Notre Dame stories I want to hit on. The first one,
Lovely.
Marcus Freeman is back, and I want to talk about that. The second one is Lincoln Riley throwing massive amounts of shade, saying basically Notre Dame say they'd play us anywhere, anytime, anywhere. If they did that, we'd be playing right now. Let's talk about Marcus.
Because he wasn't taking the heat for it. I told you it was not. It was reported, blah, blah, blah. Notre Dame trying to save face. Nope.
Well, I kind of like this version of Lincoln Riley. I kind of like Lincoln Riley gone wild. Like I do.
Pull up the tapes of me talking about us wanting to go have drinks with Lincoln Riley.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're going full circle.
In his wine cellar.
Yeah,
because he had a ton in his backyard. No, I love a feisty Lincoln Riley, and when we talked about this, last week or the week before, I said I don't know that it's actually as much USC as it is Notre Dame, but they are going to point the finger the other way because of the fact that this is all about the college football playoff and their shit about not being in and their bullshit about trying to get an auto bid situation come January 23rd.
Now, Marcus Freeman being back, I found his tweet fascinating. It was like very nondescript. Like it was like a Shamrock, like back for more. I don't even want to look it up. Like 2026. It was very odd. very odd. It felt almost like a player recommitting to a school, like versus a coach.
You
And
mean re-signing?
yes, but like in the yearly, like yes, like
Yes.
USC, like
You have to
it,
announce it. Well, because nobody knows at this point. It's so funny too about like eligibility and like who's going where and who's going to the draft and who's not. So much more dramatic now because of the fact that like there's like realistic chances that players stay or go, depending on their situation, depending on the portal. But coach wise, yes, I mean, with everything going on, also like Marcus Freeman is entering his villain era, which is probably good for everyone. I think Notre Dame in general is just entering like a villain arc right now, and that's okay.
yes,
It's good for the sport. It's good for the sport because they
it
became too
it
likable because Marcus Freeman was too likable. Now their athletic director has really made them unlikable in many ways. And their fan base complaining about this college football playoff situation also annoying. But I also love that it was NFL jobs. Like I don't think there was ever
yes.
like a realistic, like I think obviously he
Well,
was linked to plenty of the open jobs or whatever, and he never really said anything around those things. I think the NFL is a legitimate next step for him, but I don't think like I think you said this a couple weeks ago actually that like you don't think it would be a good move this year for him to take that next step, and like no other college would make sense for him. He might as well stay at Notre Dame.
it's kind of like these coaches with the NFL. I think of like David Shaw, even Kirk Ferentz at one point. This was rumored quite a bit. I actually think Ferentz would have been a pretty good NFL coach because he's pretty even keel. Um, but it's almost like this, wrestling. I imagine you and I have never talked about like WWE. You don't strike me as a huge wrestling fan. Fine. But what they do is you've got a long term like story arc. I'm not a big fan either. But like, and even for like
I
fighters in
know some of
UFC.
them.
Yes. So, but like Marcus Freeman is young and he's got to think about his arc. So right now he has another year of CJ Carr, right? And
Yeah.
in theory, he's got the goods. They're going to have a really good team next year. And so whatever they do, assuming they don't Clemson this thing, then like the jobs are going to be there. The NFL is going to have turnover every single year. And then if he fails in the NFL over 2-3 years, buddy, college will have you back. You'll be
Yeah.
young by comparison and still able to do this. And so I wonder how much he thinks about, or if he's just genuinely happy. The tweet didn't feel. It felt a little weird. It felt very industrial. It felt very businesslike. Like
That's, I mean, though, but that's Marcus Freeman.
it is,
Military, the whole.
and so I just felt very. I didn't feel like rah rah. Like I felt like okay, well, one more year.
No,
Right?
he's a very. I mean, I personally think he could do a really wonderful job staying there for like 10 years. Like he could genuinely win
Totally.
multiple national championships there. And I think he has the discipline to do it. I think that's kind of that's like the Matt Campbell as well. Like that's another person who was talked about NFL job wise quite a bit. Stayed there are these coaches. I mean, Kyle Whittingham. Like there's a lot of coaches that genuinely like can stay somewhere, actually have a culture. Even in this era of college football, I don't think that's totally lost. I think there's places that it's going to be lost, but there are certain programs you can make it work, and I think Notre Dame is certainly one of them, and he fits so perfectly there. And I think he's, I don't know, you know how like that thought of like the grass is always greener for these coaches, and it's like this is a perfect example of like we'll find out for Lane Kiffin if it was really worth leaving and going to LSU. Because sure, you could say best job in college football, blah, 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 you want. But like he had a playoff team at Ole Miss. And like the way that college football is set up, did he have to go there? And he was happy in the other place. So I think there's like that bit of balance with some of these coaches who are like, look, it's not worth me going to a crazy ass fan base that expects these things. And not to say that Notre Dame doesn't have a fan base that expects these things. Woo! The vodka may be hitting.
I love this.
It's just the fact that I think that Notre Dame is a comfortable place where you can underperform and still be pretty rewarded for it because of their setup.
Yes, and I think he
You're
can
not
make.
looking to win conference championships. There's
No,
no
no.
rivalry that, like, you know what I mean? Like, there are,
Well,
but there aren't.
and now he's probably going to be making $11 million a year. And so, to your point,
Well, he has to. He has like 6 kids.
well, yeah, to your point, he's going to get another raise. So, if he goes to the NFL, maybe he can make $15 million a year or something like that. It's a lot of money, and you don't have to recruit. I mean, there are definitely perks, but NFL.
Yeah, honestly, if I were to, if someone was like, Paige, you could be an NFL head coach or you could be a college football head coach, I would probably choose to be an NFL head coach. And that, I mean, you get paid way less to not coach there at that level.
Yes,
and it's very like cutthroat and all of these things. But I don't know. I just feel like all the work that goes into being a head coach for a college football program is a lot these days.
I do want to talk about a few bowl games that happened before we talk playoff and some other bowls. Pop-Tarts Bowl. Electric. Absolutely electric. I bet BYU in this game. Notre Dame opted out, of course.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech, BYU.
Which, by the way, would be really cool if we could have seen like a Notre Dame Pop-Tart type.
Well, look, do I think some of the Pop-Tart stuff has been overcooked? Yes. But I kind of love it. I got into it more this year. Actually, I just think like the fucking Pop-Tart running away at the end for no goddamn good reason at all. Like, outstanding. It was a great game. The game is fun. I thought the announcers did a nice job of kind of like weaving in the Pop-Tarts without clobbering you over the head. It was awesome. It was just a really fun football game in every aspect. And I think if you want to do for bowl season to continue, you've got to do it like that. You got to have a good matchup.
No
elements, and there's got to be an element of fun and looseness into it. And then both teams played their asses off. You had both teams truly show up, which is great because we have not had that in all these games for sure.
Now, I didn't think to text you that day, but Christmas Eve.
So,
did you bet Hawaii, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations.
It was a great game. Yes, I bet Hawaii. We had Hawaii overs. We had overs. It was a good night. Unfortunately, because we're always at my family, we're traveling. I get DD treatment from my wife.
Sorry, I don't mean to tease you because you said unfortunately we're at my family.
No, sorry.
I know that's not what you meant. You meant that we were traveling, but
we were driving. But unfortunately, that game we're driving home in the middle of the heart of goodness every year. This is how it works out.
Dang.
But yeah, but that was awesome. That was great. It was a great game too.
Do we want to talk about the underachieving bowl?
Yes.
The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl?
Watching Clemson in this form, like what a shit season. Like, what a shit football season. And then just as we're coming on, Garrett Riley not coming back, I was like, wow. And you're like, well, something had to happen. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, it makes
Well, we talk about
sense.
This. Everybody, you have to, if you have a bad season and you're a coach like Dabo, where you're not going anywhere, you're not getting fired, you're not leaving, you have to get rid of a coordinator, you have to hire an entire like defensive staff or offensive staff. Like, you have to do those things. It's just the nature of how it works, unfortunately, for those coordinators. But yeah, I'm curious what next year looks like for them. I'm curious if they actually use the portal this offseason, like besides just one player. I'm very, very curious how this all goes.
The only other thing I want to mention is, oddly, North Texas, San Diego State. North Texas capped off an amazing year, right? They win this game. And then immediately afterwards, their star quarterback and their star running back declare. what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, you have to ride the wave while it's high.
Yes.
Let me just say, I don't think these kids owe any, like, they got them to that point. Like, North Texas wouldn't have been in that situation without them.
Oh, I don't have any issue.
Do you not just not like the timing of it?
No, I don't hate any of it. I had a North Texas fan in my mentions, and not mean, but like I made a comment when Caleb Hawkins, who I think is spectacular.
Yeah.
Like spectacular. I think both of them are spectacular. And it was an interesting comment. He's just like, well, what about, I was like, wow, good for him. Whatever I said, like he's a special kid, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, what's left for North Texas? Now, it's a fair question. You just miss out on the playoff and your two best players are leaving, and you should expect that to happen in this day and age. But it did kind of like, what about North Texas, right? Like it hit not a nerve, but it like it hit home. So I it's the way it goes. I mean, that is the way it is. And it's not going to change, but I do feel for the North Texas fans out there.
Okay, what actually annoys me about that even more is that they played in their bowl game.
Yes.
Like they could have sat out of those games.
No, but if you're a fan.
Your season's over. What more do you want?
Another year of your star freshman running back.
You're not gonna get that.
No, but like if you had a player in Arizona who left, right?
Well, we had like 15 of them go with Jedfish, so.
Well, yeah, but like a good player. Like you would be.
Our
you
best
would be,
player stayed. Thank goodness.
You would be sad. It's okay to be sad. Like you're not bad. He wasn't bad mouthing the kids. He's just sad. Like, and I think that's a perfectly fair emotion. Like, it's a weird time for loyalty. And
yeah.
And like I saw Coleman from Auburn just entered the transfer portal today, which after watching him this year, like he had to go. Like it's a different emotion there. Like, man, like he is going to be a hugely coveted thing. I just think for a team like North Texas or whoever that next year's North Texas is, like you have to strike lightning in a bottle, make the most of it because it's going to fall apart. Like, and that's the way it is. That's the sport now.
Let me say this. Of all the smaller group of 6 teams and places, there's quite a bit of money flowing through Texas. So I imagine you can find some and put it towards if you want to going into the portal and getting other players or doing whatever. But I think, okay, so this band doesn't sound like they were upset at the players themselves.
No. Just
the system and the way that this works now. Yes. That I fully understand being frustrated with.
Yeah. No. I don't
it's
think
less
there
about
was,
so like,
fuck this guy. No.
To that point, we do need to fix college football and the transfer portal and eligibility and this, like, we don't need group of 6 to be feeder teams for these larger teams to get these guys at the back end of their, college football careers. Those type of things. Fully understand that.
Yeah. No.
But that's going to take some time, and that's the nature of
that's the way
game.
It goes. I mean, that is the way it goes. Is there anything else? No. Good. Hey, good for two attaboys. Virginia with a tremendous season, win over Missouri, and Houston. I know LSU is in some weird mutated form.
That was a crazy game.
10-win Houston. That was a great game. 10-win Houston, I thought was great too. Okay. Do we want to talk? We have a couple of bowls here. Iowa Vandy, we just have to talk about briefly, not long. I'm really curious what Diego we get. Diego versus Norm Parker, Iowa's D coordinator, who is one of the best defensive coordinators in the country. I think it's going to be fascinating. I don't know how many athletes Iowa has to kind of corral Diego. But I'm really interested to see what happens there. And I have to say, Michigan, Texas just keeps jumping off the page for me. Everything that's going on in Michigan, Texas, trying to, find momentum for next year if you're a believer in that thing. I'm really Arizona State Duke is fun. All of these
There's gonna be
games,
some weird games.
they're so weird, but like wildly intriguing games. And then Nebraska Utah,
yeah.
we'll be watching.
Then we've got January 1st, obviously, is strictly playoff, but January 2nd, a big heater. Arizona versus SMU in the Holiday Bowl.
It's a fun game.
Navy, Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's a weird game.
And, yeah.
The
Duke's Mayo Bowl and the Holiday Bowl are the last two bowls, and then we have the FCS Championship on Monday the 5th.
I do like that these games are on like Friday night. Like Navy, Cincy, Arizona, SMU, Wake Forest, Mississippi State, fun. Like,
well, yeah, because we have obviously NFL this
NFL
weekend, which is so funny because guess who was going to the Niner game and it got moved from Sunday to Saturday.
Oh, you still going though?
Yes. Well, Doug, because there's no college football games.
Oh, that's true.
Isn't that crazy?
How far? That was a great win last night, by the way. Holy shit.
Stressful.
People here were shitting themselves.
Yeah, I bet. How far is Santa Clara from where I am?
Yeah.
It's like Levi is probably with like traffic and like actually on a game day probably takes like an hour.
Okay.
To get there, but like no traffic, normal day, probably like 45-ish minutes.
Okay. Let's talk some playoff. Let's do this thing.
College football. By the way, we did make some bold predictions for these, which they'll be in the BR app over the next 2 days. We were so aligned even in our bold predictions because I did them before looking at yours that you had already sent. And then I had to change both of mine for Oregon and Texas Tech because they were basically the same.
And so, you know what's funny? Because we'll do score predictions and we'll I won't even look sometimes at yours until we do it live.
Yeah. And then we say unless
it's like, yeah, unless we're like, you have this, I have that, and then we'll joke. But some of these predictions are like, and it's an interesting point for these games because I actually struggled with bold predictions for these games.
Yeah, well, because I think one, you and I are both kind of aligned, but I also think when you're doing a bold prediction, here's something about Kramer and I that you guys can always trust. We are not going to say something just to say something.
Yeah,
like I will not put something out there that I don't believe in just to say it. So when we're asked to do bold predictions, I feel like they're not that bold. We will like disagree on certain things, but it's not where like we think that Miami is going to beat Ohio State by 20 points. You know what I mean? Like there's just they're not going to be that bold.
There's no manufactured take.
And we're not trying to make this dramatic. However, we do have some bold predictions to look for those in the BR app over the next 2 days.
My kids and I filled out our college football brackets today. We do this every year. So
nice.
We didn't do it for the first round. So we did it for this round. Everybody
filled it out.
And my wife, everybody filled it out. So my youngest and I, Cam, have the same exact bracket. So like, and again, no help from Dad. So
did Jack pick Oregon?
He did, not to win it all. He picked Georgia, but to win this next game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm struggling with that one. We'll talk. Let's get through. Let's plow through in chronological. So New Year's Eve night, Ohio State versus Miami, Cotton Bowl. The line on this one is 9.5. The total, very Iowa-like 40.5. It's a really low total.
Did you see my bold take?
I did not yet.
Okay, this will come out after I tell it.
Mm-hmm.
I basically said to bet the under because I think that Ohio State could score that much by themselves, but I don't think Miami's going to score that much.
I know Miami's defense is good, really good, but there were times this year where they were not tremendous.
Yeah,
and like I'm just really interested. Like I think the best thing that will ever happen to Julian Sand was an Indiana game. Like I think that, like from a college career standpoint, I think he's going to be so much better now. And so I just think when I looked at it, like position by position, I think Ohio State is just too good. Like, and I think you feel the same way. Like this isn't like some crazy take. I think the health of the wide receivers, I know we've talked about this a little bit. I think they were a little bit more banged up than maybe Ohio State was leading on by design.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be very helpful. I think the emergence of Bo Jackson and that running game, which they need to lean on even more, I think is good. And then I do. I think Julian Sand's going to emerge from this playoff as a superstar. And I
Yeah.
think it happens here. So, you know, I wrote this in locks, and I think you and I have talked about, like, can Carson Beck do this? Like 2023 Carson Beck, maybe. I don't know though. I just don't. I don't trust him enough going into this football game. I
I don't
just don't.
either. I think, and also, like, I know we talked a lot about like buys and are they worth it, and kind of being on your heels a bit and all those sort of things. With this new format and everything, I think Ohio State needed it. I will say, I think Ohio State and Texas Tech both, health wise, needed a little bit of a break to kind of get their guys back healthy. And I just, to your point, Miami, certainly, like, if they play their best game possible, sure. But seeing what we did see versus Texas A&M, that was obviously a tricky weather conditions, all of those things. I'm not fully sold that they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, I don't know if we have to spend much more time in this game. I think Ohio State's going to win by double digits. I think they're going to cover. I think Miami, the interior part of the offensive line, did a great job against A&M, and maybe you can wear down Ohio State by, kind of bully ball them, like, and that should be the strategy.
Yeah,
and
time
keep
of
the ball away.
possession.
Yeah, but
No, it should be.
I
mean,
I'll believe it when
how
I
you
see
win
it.
this sounds so lame and this sounds so tryhardy. How you win this game is you keep, the ball out of Julian Saint's hands in
You
that
do.
offense. You keep the ball, you do, and was their strategy against Texas A&M as well. Because again, you were forcing the pressure there for Marcel Reed, and having him to, like, kind of crawl back a little bit and force the issue where he ended up obviously throwing an interception.
One thing to keep an eye on in this, and I wonder how much of an issue it was in the Big Ten championship game, because I thought Ohio State short-circuited. Ryan Day is calling plays.
Yeah.
And I think he's really good at it. But I also think when Ohio State started shitting all over itself like this, we wondered, was this too much for him? Now,
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be why they lose. I wonder if Heartline with Kentucky and everything was a distraction, because it felt that way. I mean, the play calling and everything else in that game, it kind of almost felt like a Lane Kiffin Alabama situation, if I'm being honest. It really did. And so he's back calling plays. The offense will be great. I think he's one of the true elite play callers in sport. So we'll see what happens there. All right. One of the most intriguing football games of the entire season, not hyperbole.
Oregon, Texas Tech.
Oregon and Texas Tech. The line now is 2.5. So Oregon is a 2.5 point favorite. Total is 51.5. So Oregon was a 1.5 point favorite. They're now 2.5. That's interesting to me, Paige, because I didn't think defensively they played very good against James Madison. They let up 500 yards. They averaged more than 5 yards a carry. You can tell me it's a lack of motivation. You can tell me that the backups were trying to play. I'll tell you that this is not the team that you want to be doing that against. Like, this is a problem. Like, and the other concern for Oregon, and we're both picking Texas Tech, let's just put that on the table right now, is turnovers. Now, Dante Moore, I want to be a Jet. Currently the number 3 pick in the NFL draft. I would love him on the Jets. But a little loose with the football last game. And I think this is a Texas Tech team that just thrives off of that shit. And so that is something to watch.
That is why so one of the things that I was going to say was that they were going to have 2 or more turnovers. Texas Tech was. And obviously that's your bold prediction. And I was like, because that's what the game's going to come down to. I think one of the things that a lot of people also are not giving enough credit to is that Texas Tech's offense scores when it needs to. One, it scores a lot of points in terms of, like, margin of victory. But I know it was the Big 12, all those things. This offense is still very well run. And while Baron Morton is not your, like, flashy, like, okay, he's the guy that stayed there. He's not a transfer. All those things. Like, it's still a very, very solid, sound offense that can get it done. And the defense is going to be the story of the game. But I just worry that, yes, Oregon. I mean, the other thing is Oregon's run game has been incredible. And I think certainly you can do that and rely on that versus Texas Tech team. But even that defensive line is just so, so good that I just don't know. I don't know. I don't have enough faith. Like, honestly, I think it for me was I needed Oregon to blow out James Madison. I understand, like you said, having backups in, blah, blah, blah. I just needed it to be like, this is dominant. Dante Moore needed to be really comfortable. He pretty much flawless because you're playing against a lesser opponent. This is not a team you F around and find out against. This defense specifically.
So
those linebackers are ready.
So when you look at Oregon's last 6 games, they beat Wisconsin 21-7. That was not great. Almost lost to Iowa. Clobbered Minnesota. Beat USC 42-27. That's pretty good. Beat Washington at Washington 26-14. In a game that Washington was alive in for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've overrated this team a little bit.
Yes.
A little bit.
Totally.
I look at their season, they lost by 10 to Indiana. That was a pretty competitive game, right? They barely beat Penn State. They should have lost to Iowa, right? And I'm not even saying this is an Iowa fan. I thought Iowa had that game. And when I look at who they've beaten, I have concerns.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, people could say the same thing about Texas Tech with.
Yes, I was just going to say,
you know what I mean?
This could go the opposite direction, but I think no matter what, that defense has been elite regardless. There's just too much for me to go. I don't know. The way they beat BYU the 2 times that they did, that for me was enough to be like, this is not an overhyped situation where Oregon hasn't given us that against an opponent where we've gotten a little bit of I guess no, I'm not going to give it to Penn State. Indiana game, obviously it was a loss, but still close-ish.
Yeah.
I guess, but it's just, there hasn't been a dominant performance that I'm like, oh, that was it. They've put the pieces of the puzzle together and they've had a complete game that looks good on both sides of the ball and we can trust this team.
The thing that someone that's backing Texas Tech, the thing that concerns me is if Dante Moore goes God mode, then Texas Tech is going to lose. He is the one player Texas Tech that is capable of taking this game over.
Yeah,
and he might do that. He might be coming into his own. But I think Texas Tech defense will be up for it. I'm so fucking excited for this game. I am so excited for this game.
Yeah.
And first game of the day, by the way, too. Absolute banger. I have a confession to make about this next game. I have almost talked myself into Alabama over Indiana.
Do you want to know why I am not close to that?
Because Alabama might suck?
No, because Kramer, have you checked the weather for Pasadena, California?
I have.
January 1st?
I have. I made a tweet today.
It is 100% chance of rain.
But so your logic on this, and now I'm following the bouncing ball, is Alabama is a shit running team.
Yes.
And they can't really catch sometimes either. But
Nope. So you're just going to get hurt. This Alabama team is not. Oh.
All right.
Okay.
No, but hold on.
You can try to convince yourself.
I have a stat for you, and it'll take me a minute to pull it up.
My martini is gone. This is sad.
My beer is gone too. I was going to grab another one, but hold on. I got to find this first. I am picking Indiana to win. Okay, I am picking Indiana.
It's 6.5, correct? The spread.
I think it's up to 7.
Okay.
I am picking Indiana to win. I think Alabama is going to be a fucking nuisance. I do. I think they're going to be a nuisance. Let me find the stat. All right. Fernando Mendoza, who I like. I have to do it. With all due respect, 27 of his 33 touchdowns came against Kennesaw State, Indiana State, Illinois, Michigan State, UCLA, Wisconsin, Purdue. The other 6 TDs were against Iowa, Oregon, bless you, Penn State, Maryland, and Ohio State. He combined for 6 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in those games. He has not played great against better competition. He has made a series of individual great plays. Penn State, he did it. Iowa, he did it. And obviously he did it against Penn State. But I don't think, and Ohio State, he was not. I have some worries here. I like him, and they're good. They're really good. They're getting healthy at wide receiver, which is good. They should win this game. But I think Alabama has truly a nothing to lose mindset. And I am curious how that plays out. But your weather point is a good one because relying on Alabama to run the football in traditional run the football ways.
Yeah.
I would put like Ryan Williams back there or something because he can't catch now anyways for some reason. Or
By the way, one of my bold predictions is that he'll get a touchdown.
Well,
they have to. They have to just at least try.
Like, he's great when he has the ball, but I don't know what the fuck has happened to him. It would not be surprising to see him transfer too, because something is not right there. And Alabama's pretty good at the position all of a sudden. So now you have Indiana covering in this game.
I don't remember what my final score was. I think it was a 3-point game when I did let me look.
All right. So you think it'll be close to them?
Yeah, I did have them, I guess.
So you have Indiana.
I had Indiana 35, Alabama 21.
Oh, so you have an ass.
Which now I know that the rain is happening. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, by the way.
Well, that's fair.
I had to make that pick last week.
By the way, that makes me sad. Rose Bowl, cloudy, rainy Rose Bowl. Like,
that's fun.
No. Sunsets and
well, the sun, yes, okay. The sunset part is very beautiful. However, I do think adding a little chaos to it is kind of fun. But also, the reason what's funny is I never look at the weather. Like, I don't at all. You're the big weather guy.
I am.
Because I know how much rain we have been getting here in California, I was like, I wonder if it's going to rain on Rose Bowl day. Sure enough, 100% chance of rain right now. So I'm sure it will rain at some point that day. But yeah, I just don't think, I don't know. Alabama can get turnover happy as well.
They can.
So I worry. I worry.
You're right to worry. And this may look very stupid, but I'm going to go with it.
Hey, you never know. It could be, there's your bold prediction that it's possible that you're talking yourself into it. Okay, Ole Miss, Georgia. Are we just like not caring? Do we just think that Georgia is going to roll them? Like, I think it's so bad that I see what you're doing with Alabama, Indiana. I'm now doing with Ole Miss, Georgia.
So am I a little bit.
I'm like, oh, maybe Ole Miss actually like could beat them.
I mean, they were up 9 points with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter when they played. Like, they were
both
torching
of my predictions
Georgia.
are Ole Miss ones because I was slightly like thinking of changing my I picked them to cover, but I also
6.5. I love the over in this game. I think it's going to be 55.5. It's a big total.
Okay.
Last time they played, they scored almost 80. I think it was 35, 43 or something like that. It was no. I think we're sleeping on this game as a whole.
Yeah, I think people are like, "Oh, this is going to be boring. Georgia's going to win. Georgia's going to
Ole Miss
do that."
played
I think it's going to be pretty good.
Ole Miss played a fantastic game against Tulane. I think the problem is, what does that mean? Like, but if we're going to give Oregon shit for allowing James I mean, that was a beatdown. Like, Tulane was useless. I know because I had the over in that fucking game. And I thought Tulane was going to find success, and they didn't. So Pete Golding, I think you saw a team that will be prepared. And look, you know, the part for me that's interesting, so Chambliss, I think, was concussion protocol, but is okay.
Yeah.
Juan Lacey, I think, has a shoulder injury, which isn't great.
You and I were busy doing stuff, and we looked up, and they were both like hurt. We were like, "Wait, what happened?"
It was the weirdest thing.
You're editing our piece before that.
But I don't think I don't think enough people are taking Ole Miss seriously.
I don't think they are either. And I like, part of me is like, oh, maybe I'll bet them.
That offense is too good, I think, to be like blown out.
Yeah.
Like that offense is legit.
They'll
like,
get theirs. Yeah.
But
well,
so
I mean, Georgia's defense has certainly like gotten better. And even that performance against Alabama for me defensively, I felt like was a really big positive takeaway for them. But yeah, I think nobody is really giving that game a lot of love, and I feel like it might be a lot closer than we think.
So your futures right now. Oh wait, here we go. Hold on. Wow, there are so many futures here. Holy shit. So here's a fun one. This is a different one. Odds to reach the championship game.
Okay.
These are tricky. And I'm happy to navigate it because I've never seen these. So your favorite right now
is not Indiana, or is it Indiana?
It is not Indiana.
It's Ohio State.
Ohio State is minus
that's
one.
That's what I would have thought.
Minus 120.
Okay. Then Indiana.
Indiana is plus 120.
Okay. And then I'm going to go with Georgia.
Georgia is plus 220.
And then I'm going to go with Alabama.
Oregon.
Wow. Okay.
Oregon
Texas there. I would say that
plus
does
290.
Texas Tech have better odds than Alabama?
They do. Significantly.
Wow. Okay. So people are actually giving
So Oregon plus 290.
Okay.
Texas Tech plus 340. Alabama plus 650. And then Ole Miss and Miami plus 900.
Just forgotten. To make the national championship. Wow. Okay.
And I've never seen this before. You can actually bet the offensive MVP in the title game already, which is fascinating. And I don't know, I'm assuming if these guys, well, maybe this just applies. Like you're betting on it. So like Fernando Mendoza is plus 230 and Julian Saint is plus 240. It's pretty neat. Like I've never seen that. I've never seen that. And then
legal in Florida.
Great question. Yes, I think it is.
I don't know.
I think it is. Where are national championship odds? That's what I was really looking for. And like, I'm finding will an odd or an even seed of the bracket be the winner? Odd minus 120, even plus 100. Sure, whatever. Like, I'm in. That just seems like a way to spend more money. God, there's so many ways to bet. So many different ways to bet. Oh, here we go. I'll do one more for you. Hypothetical college football championship lines right now. Ohio State minus 5.5 versus Georgia. What other ones are interesting? Indiana minus 3.5 versus Oregon. Wait, there's a shit ton of these.
It looks like we'd have to go. We can't do the apps, I don't think. It's kind of like a Vegas situation where you have to do the books.
Well, that could be arranged too.
Looks like, I was just going to say, it looks like we're going.
Yeah, that could be in. All right, what else? I mean, this could be a great. I'm very much looking forward to this. We are going to be covering it on New Year's Day. We will have bold predictions, as we mentioned.
Yeah, we've got preview and prediction stuff that we'll bring you for semifinal, and then you and I will be at the national championship in Miami, Florida.
Cannot wait. Any parting shots?
No, just random shit.
Yes.
We are recording this on Monday.
Yes.
And for the last 2 days, I have been in torture of being a wife to a fantasy football GM that is still in the running to win their league. My husband, Nick, could possibly win back-to-back. And I have to tell you, you guys have heard my take on fantasy. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. And it's the one thing that makes me just straight up a true, like, girl's girl in that way, where I'm like, nobody cares about your fantasy team. Yeah. And my husband could not love it more. He could not love it more. He could not be more excited. He could not be more intense about it. He, in fact, made us go get McDonald's. Well, I didn't get any, but he made me stop by McDonald's so that he could get breakfast on the way home because we spent the night at my parents' house. We had a Christmas thing there on Saturday. We were driving home. He's like, we got to stop at McDonald's. I got to get McDonald's breakfast because that's my routine on Sundays. That's how intense it is.
So what does he need here? Now I want to sweat this along with him.
Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
Hold on.
Pitts has been actually good in a contract year.
Kyron. Who else?
Kyron Williams, who I had. Kind of annoying because Blake Corum is getting some run now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who.
So he's still hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, he's still hopeful. Whereas my brother, like, he's like, no, we've got two players and like one.
The math isn't mathing.
Yeah, the math isn't going to work. Whereas like the math still could. But yeah, he's wanted this very, very badly for the last few days and been very intense about it. He did the week before, same thing. And I honestly could care less. All I care about is the Niners when it comes to NFL football. That and like any player that I loved in college, like I'll obviously watch them and root for them, but like it's mostly about the Niners for me. I am very excited to get to go to the Niner game with my mom, who's like the biggest Niner fan in the whole world. So I'm very excited to go with her to the Niner
that game against the Bears was a banger. Reminded me of a college game.
Yeah, and my cousins were there. My cousin gave her brother, my other cousin, tickets for Christmas, and they went to that game.
Bears are legit too. It's fun. Like locally, they got some juice. I'm not a Bears fan. It actually, it makes me sad because all my kids have ever known about the Jets is let's hope they lose so they can get a draft pick, and let's hope other teams lose or win so their draft pick is better.
I actually don't know if I told you this. Did you hear about my wedding vows?
No.
How I, like, in part of my wedding vows, I was talking about Nick, and I said, you know, I can't wait to have children that are just like you, that are funny, smart, you know, witty and kind, but they're going to be Niner fans and not Raider fans. And that was in my vows because I will not do that to my children. Of course, someone else last night was talking about it in my friend group chat where they're like, oh, being a Niner fan's better. I'm like, is it? Because I watched them lose 3 Super Bowls. I don't know if it's actually better because the outcome at the end of the year, still we lost.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Billy Bean when he says, like, no one gives a shit if you don't win the last game of the season. Like, that's
true.
how I feel.
No,
I watched them lose 3 Super Bowls. I don't want to do it again. I'm done. Don't make a Super Bowl if you're not going to win it because I can't do it anymore.
I'm just tired of my sports teams ruining things for me. And like, seriously, like we're rooting because the Jets have the Colts pick. So like Jack's like, oh, did the Colts lose? I'm like, they lost. Like, yes. I'm like, we're such losers, son. Like we are just like we become those people. Like, oh yeah, number 18 pick in the draft as well.
Woo! Any Christmas stories that you have for us? I know last week you couldn't say what gifts you were excited about. Did Santa or you and Caitlin get specific gifts that you're really excited for the kids that they got?
Both the boys got new baseball bats, and like we're leveling up as a dad.
Are you guys still at the metal bat situation?
Oh yeah, and not only that. So yesterday we went and hit, and like the bat, like. I'm here to tell your dads out there that are contemplating, like, should I level up and buy the expensive bat? It is like, it took me like a year to do it. And like, just like watching it, like, what a difference.
Yeah.
Like, I was very proud as dad, like, yep, that's me. So no, we got a ton. My youngest got like NBA 2K. So that's been very popular. New bats.
What gaming system do your kids use?
We've got a lot. I mean, we've got PS5 is the popular one.
Okay.
We do have a Switch too. Olivia got an Apple Watch.
I think my niece and nephew got the Switch thing that you can like play like Wii games on.
Yes.
Is that a thing that it comes apart and you can?
Yes.
See, look at me.
You are. No,
I'm in the know.
It was great day. The situation here is we hosted that day, and so I was in the kitchen. I fried a turkey last minute, which is great, but it's my feet at the end of the day were so tired. I felt like I had gotten my ass kicked. It was great, But it's just exhausting. Like I think I slept till 9:30 the next day. I haven't slept past 8, and I can't tell you how long.
Yeah, that's Nick, and Nick slept till like 9 o'clock the next day. We did Christmas with just our immediate families, and then we both had extended family Christmas on Saturday, so the
Yes.
27th. We did that, so we doubled up, but that was like our we Ubered that day. I told my mom, it was a funny joke. We stayed at her house 3 nights this week. And my mom was like, all of those nights that you slept in my house, I've slept like through the night. And my mom is like, see, it's just because you guys are here. So shout out to all the moms with adult kids who finally have them all home.
Oh yeah.
Because that makes my mom really happy when we're all there. Also, like, very much my mom's favorite child is her son-in-law. It's very, very funny. To my brother and I, because like obviously when you have two,
yeah,
the favorite thing is not really, it's like depends on the day of the week, really.
Oh, it does. Yes.
But now it's like it's definitely Nick, which is so funny to me. And when it was a thing before, but not as much now that we're married. I'm like, oh wow, it's like very obvious.
It's real.
Mom.
It's like contractually binding.
Yeah,
love. Like
that they have to be. Yeah, that they have to be.
No,
And they're the favorite.
That is, that's awesome though. Yeah, it's. What the weird part for me, I mean, other than the football stuff, is like being home and off. So everybody today, where everybody's going a little stir crazy.
Yeah.
We went to the gym, and my 6, 9, and 11-year-old and I played a game of 2-on-2. Very intense.
I was just gonna say, how humbling was that for you?
Oh, it was great. I mean, I was just shooting threes, and this is more my speed.
Yeah.
But
so I was just gonna ask you about the like. Are you a big sweets person? I don't know that we've had this.
Not. It depends. Like but if it's like the right sweet, then yes.
Okay, if it's at my house, I'll eat it. But oh my gosh, I literally can't take it. Like we cannot eat any more sweets. Like Nick and I are like, how do we eat something that's not sweets? Like I cannot. We have so many cookies in our house.
Oh yes. We sent them
I'm
all
just
away.
more of a savory person. Like I could go to town on some spinach dip for like 3 days straight and not
that's kind of how I am too.
Where like after 2 days of having cookies, I'm like, I'm gonna throw up. And what's funny was yesterday we ate dinner and I was like, I'm so full, I cannot eat another thing. Like I'm done. And we've had pasta for like 3 days because my parents got pasta for both of those events they had at their house. So we got the leftover pasta and I was like, I can't have any more food. And we were in bed watching a show and Nick goes down to get like water. And I was like, hey, when you come back, can you bring me my peanut M&Ms for my stocking? And I was like, oh, like why?
Please, someone help.
If it's in my house, I'm going to eat it. Like that's why I have a rule like during poor Nick. I mean, he's not really a sweet person either. Sweets person. He is a sweet person. But anyway, I genuinely cannot have it in our house. Like I'm like, you can't bring junk food in here because I'll eat it. I have no self-control.
We went out
2026. I'll find it.
I found a new favorite dessert.
Ooh.
We went out, Kayla and I, to dinner Saturday night, and one of our favorite places, just like fun tapas type dishes. But they had creme brulee.
You're a big tapas guy. Sorry,
I love it.
Your favorite restaurant in Vegas is a tapas place.
You get to experience everything. And then I'm
gonna look up a tapas place in Miami, by the way.
Well, and they're gonna be a big tapas place. Creme brulee though is incredible.
Elite.
It is an elite, like texturing.
Done right, yes.
Done right.
You know what other one is? Tiramisu.
Yes, it's very good.
Elite because light and fluffy, but it's got bold flavors.
But so like I didn't have a ton of sweets and stuff. More like 2 gallons of wine is more of like, but then creme brulee, I was like, oh my god. The
alcohol situation too. Like I took the day off of drinking yesterday. I was like, I can't.
So did I.
If we're home just by ourselves, like we're not drinking because we've had so many events where we go and drink. But like even New Year's Eve is one of Nick's best friend's birthdays. So during the day we're going out. We're gonna do like a stay at home, play games with friends on that evening and nighttime. I'm not a huge like go out and drinker either, but we've had so many events where there's been espresso martinis and I sent you the punch, the Christmas punch with the pomegranate.
You know what? I bought everything to do it. I was so tired we're bringing it to New Year's.
Yes, you gotta
yes.
do it. And it has the vodka in it and the champagne topper.
Yes.
It's next level good. It gets you.
I brought everything to do it, and then I was like, fuck, I can't do this.
It's so delicious. But yeah, no, do you have big New Year's plans? Do you guys so you guys are doing obviously the water park,
dude.
but do you guys do a fake like 9 p.m. thing for them or no?
Yes, they do one at the water park, which is fun.
Okay.
The playoff game is going on at this time. It's a little chaotic. And then we just get drunk in people's rooms and have fun and everything
That's
else.
great.
It was great.
Do the kids actually go to bed, or they like to try and stay up?
You know,
because I feel like your kids are right at the age where they can stay up.
Last year, I think 2 of them stayed up.
Okay.
Most of them did. But it's a long day. I mean, I know Kay and Olivia are going skiing like that day, and I'm on boy water park duty. And so, just to paint a picture, this is a Wisconsin indoor water park. The booze refrigerator is incredible. It's Wisconsin, right? They know this is what they major in, is great alcohol options. And Iowa plays at 11 a.m. So that morning, I mean,
Is that why you opted out of skiing?
Well, one of the reasons, the boys don't really want to ski. They're like,
the boys don't want to ski. Dang, I'll say.
We want to watch
you
Iowa.
Go, Caitlin, you go.
Yeah, so I'm fine with that. So we will. I'm a little worried about the pacing of that day. Like even tomorrow, right? We're getting up. You and I have a show. Get up there probably at 1:30, 2 o'clock, and it's like go time. So, yeah, we've been taking it easy the last few days, and then the next few will be anything but. So the only thing I'm hoping, yesterday I did not feel great either, just off, and then today was fine. I just don't want to get sick. I get sick this time of year every fucking year.
Same, and not to brag, I need to knock on something. I won't jinx myself.
Yeah.
I did this morning go to Pilates, and I also went to the sauna because I was like, this is not happening. I had that voice thing happen where like my voice was going, but I felt fine. Nothing was wrong. But there's that flu that's going around.
I know.
Let me tell you, me with the flu, and also I don't need my husband getting the flu because it's the flu plus man flu, and I don't need that. I don't need that.
I did the sauna in the steam room yesterday for about an hour and a half.
It is that is my go-to now is the sauna, and I'm like, get it out.
Tomorrow,
I'm like, I'm stuck slightly.
Tomorrow before I leave for our show, that is on the cards as well. Yeah, we're gonna do that. It should be fun. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. And then the next round of games, by the way, are following weekend. Is that it?
Yeah, but they're Thursday, Friday because again.
That's so weird.
Yeah, they're Thursday, Friday. I believe I have that right because I've done the schedule like 8 million times. Yes, Thursday, Friday. So Thursday the 8th, Friday the 9th, and then we're off on Saturday. Yeah, it's bizarre. Shout out the NFL.
Thursday the 8th, Friday the 9th. It is a little weird. It's kind of nice though. We'll have the weekend at least.
Yes.
All right. It'll be fun. Everyone out there.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Be safe.
Talk to you guys next year. Huh?
Yeah. And producer Matt, I need that clipped out. Talk to you guys next year. I have nothing else to add to that. We'll see you guys next year. Goodbye.